We are going to welcome you back to the Principals Podcast. Today is March 3rd, and this is probably the first time in the history of a podcast that we're having a podcast with someone who's not in this state or even in our time zone, which is really cool, but they are one of our students. Today, we are really, really blessed to have Haidyn Bunker with us today. Haidyn is a student at our school. She's a part of the Executive Student Council. She does a lot of great things, but she is doing something special right now in the state of Utah. We'll get to her in a moment. Before we do so, we have a very tall Mr. Himes standing today. How are you?
Yo, yo, yo.
Oh, there's a yo, Mrs. Bondi. That's a good thing.
Yeah, we're getting him back. He's coming back.
And Mrs. Bondi, how are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Wonderful. Now let's talk about the best guest we can even ask for. I've known Haidyn for a long time, since Haidyn was like 3 foot tall. I even had the opportunity to coach her in softball. We all know her family, but Haidyn has other skills and talents, not only in the classroom, on the field, but on a special sled, we'll say. Haidyn, tell us all about what you are doing now and the official organization in which you're doing this with.
So right now I'm in Park City, Utah, doing Luge training for nationals with Team USA. I am on the USA Luge Junior Development Team. Usually we're based out of Lake Placid, New York, but we were able to travel up to Park City, Utah to try out this track here.
That is really awesome. Can you explain to anyone who has not watched the Olympics what you actually have to do on or in the competition of the luge?
So your main goal in luge is to obviously get the fastest time, but really with fastest time comes like lines is where like kind of where you enter a curve or exit a curve or where you drive at. So and really it's in your position when you're laying on your sled. It's where you're really have your head back, your shoulders back. You got to be relaxed 24/7 whenever you're on that sled.
Sounds like Mr. Hyam needs to be on that sled. Don't you think, Mrs. Bondi?
Yeah, that'll straighten him out.
Relax on a
Yeah.
sled,
Yeah.
completely head back. So
Yeah.
how many years have you been doing this?
So I tried out in 2018 down a pavement kind of hill on a wheeled sled and in Columbus. And from there, I got asked to go to a training camp in Lake Placid, New York on the real track. And so it's kind of just gone from there. So now I've been doing it. This will be my 3rd year on USA Luge team.
That's so cool. It's like a soapbox derby there in the sense of being on wheels. Are they like the same type of wheels that are like on rollerblades or?
Yeah.
Wow. And how do you stop both of these tools that you're on? Either the one with the wheels and the ones with the sled. You have to pull up? Like what's this? How do you do it?
So with the wheels, you usually have like tennis shoes on. So you'll just put your feet down. So you're on your like sled, you're laying down, your feet are up. And then once you get towards like the bottom of the hill or whatever, you'll just put your feet down and you'll end up stopping at some point. But when you're on the ice, it's a different situation. Usually the tracks end going up, but some of them end going down. So it's a little bit more tricky. So when you start to slow down towards the finish, you're going to have to sit up and then pull your sled up with you so you can try and brake. And then once you're kind of at a braking point, so you don't slide back down, you have to turn your sled sideways.
That's really cool. Can you, I guess, explain where you're currently at? Because obviously, I mean, we've heard you're in Utah, but where are you currently staying? Like, what room is this?
So I'm staying kind of in I'm staying in a townhouse really. It's just like a Airbnb that we rented for the week while I'm here because it was the only option really. But it's just a short distance from the track really, and it's easy. I'm staying with 2 of my other teammates, and my aunt is here with us, kind of chaperoning for the week, I guess. And we're just like 10-15 minutes from the track. So it's really nice. It's fun.
That's really cool. Can you tell us a little bit about your daily routines? Like, what does your day look like since it's currently like 7:53 in the morning? Talk to us about a typical day.
So usually wake up around between 6:30 and 7, depending on what we're doing that day. I'll wake up, I'll make a quick little pick me up kind of breakfast, and then either I'll start on my schoolwork for a couple hours, or we will head straight to the track, and we will either watch the older kids go or we will go. And then we come home. So that's like yesterday we were at the track for like 9 hours, I think. It was a lot. Today we're only going to be at the track for like 4 hours, so it won't be as bad. But either we'll have steel work, which is where we kind of just like clean up our steels on the bottom of our sleds. The steels are like what goes on the ice. Or we'll have like a workout or something afterwards for about an hour or 2 hours. So usually I'm like home and done by like, I want to say like 8, 9 at night, pretty much.
That's really cool. I mean, you've probably met some amazing people and you've done a lot of obviously training with them. So what other bonding activities have you done to really develop relationships with these people you've met over the years?
So really we usually just stay in a dorm together. So we're always like together. We're all like sisters. But like some like big team things we've done, we've gone like ice skating. Sometimes we'll go like into town. So we'll like go to like a bunch of stores or something and just like kind of walk around a bit. The other day we learned how to curl actually.
Oh my gosh, how cool.
So it was a lot of fun. So things like that, like fun little things that don't take too long, but like also like, it's fun. It's really fun.
What's the weather like out there right now?
So usually it's in the negatives, but the past couple days it's been like 60 degrees out here. It's lovely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we had a little bit of ice last night here in Chardon, Ohio. It's currently 22 degrees out. But I think that weather front's coming our way for the weekends. How long are you staying out there?
I fly back home on Monday, so a couple more days.
Well, I've been stealing a lot of this time. I want to pass it over to either Mrs. Bondi or Mr. Hyam. I'm sure they have tons of other questions too.
I do have questions. So what in 2018, when you were like, okay, I'm going to go try out for this in Columbus, how did you get to that point? Because I don't even I wouldn't have known about this. So how did you know about the luge sport and how did you get to that point of like, I'm going to go try out?
So we were actually watching the Olympics, and I'm pretty sure my coach now, Haidyn Kelly, he was an Olympian, and I'm pretty sure he had like a really, really bad crash. So they cut the Olympics, and they were like, all right, we're just gonna go to commercial break. And during commercial break, there was like hey, come to a slider search and try luge out. So we were like, oh, this looks fun, and we looked kind of into it. And there was one in Columbus. I was like, yeah, sure, let's go. And I saw it was a free T-shirt. I was like, I'm in. And then basically we went to Columbus for the day. It was a 2-hour session. We just went down on our wheeled sleds, turned through some cones. I really enjoyed it. Didn't think I was going to get called back, but I knew I had a fun experience, so I was happy. And then from there, I had screening camp, and then I got asked to go join a camp with the actual team, like 2 years ago team, you know what I mean? So I went and trained with them, and then a month later after that, May 1st, I was asked to be on the D team.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so as I was watching the Olympics this winter, I was thinking of you and specifically more interested in luge than I think I've ever been just because of this. But I heard an explanation. They were kind of talking through controlling the sled like with your ankles, like your ankles or your feet are in the rudders in the front. And then there's some sort of like a handlebar type thing that your hands are both linked into. Is that the same, like no matter what level you're at? Okay.
Yeah, that's all the same. Yeah.
So you do have a little bit of guidance with it or like for steering purposes or not really? Like
yeah, I have total control over the sled.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. It made me nervous just watching some of that.
Yeah.
So when you're going to and from these practices, like you've been to at least 2. Has it been more than that? Different trips away to go practice this year? How often do you go?
This summer I went in November. I went just 2 weeks ago for about 15 days. And then now I'm here. This season was cut a little short due to COVID, but we still got like a lot of training in for COVID happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when you go, it's usually for like a week. 8 to 10 days, right? 7
Yeah.
to 10. And then you're staying in these different places all around. Sometimes parents are chaperones, sometimes it's like an aunt, right?
Yeah.
And then, but you're basically traveling independently. Like,
Yeah, if we fly
Right.
everywhere by ourselves, usually I'll fly with my teammates because they live like within 2-3 hours of me, so we just go to one airport and fly together. But
Yeah.
like if we'll drive together, we'll fly together. So it's a lot of fun. You learn a lot of like life skills with it too. Like you'll learn it's so different. Like
what's
the-
what's the security kind of check-in? What's that like with all of your gear and everything at the airport?
so it's really nerve-wracking actually because it's not with me currently, but I have a weight vest. And so it's just like a little like kind of tank top kind of thing that you tie up, but inside the weights are just lead pieces. And usually I have it like in a ball. So it looks like a bad thing in my bag when it goes through security. So usually that's a hassle, but you get used to it. Like, yeah, like he or she's gonna check your bag and they're gonna be like, okay, go ahead. And then usually out of there within like 20-30 minutes. So it's not that bad really.
That would be nerve-wracking. How to explain why you have a weighted lead vest in your gear, right?
Yeah. So usually, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
I was just explaining the weight vest, like why I have it. It's because like usually like some kids like different weights, like the heavier you are, the faster you go, obviously. So I have my weight vest so that I can match the other girls that weigh more than me. So it's more like even. So it's more based on like your control and your drive and stuff like that.
Nice. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So what happens from here? Like, how do you move up? What does the process look like?
So usually it takes time and a lot of effort. So there's development team, and then so that's D team, and then there's C team. Those kids are like usually 2 to 3 years older than us. And then there's traveling C, and traveling C travels all over the world with the junior national team. So the 2 highest you can go is junior national team, and then it goes to national team, and national team goes like the Olympics and everything.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that's the plan.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Oh, cool.
How hard is it to stay on top of like schoolwork and things of that nature? Because you're really diligent about sending those emails out. Hey, I'm going to be out, checking in with your teachers. How
Yeah.
hard is that?
And when I was younger, it was a lot harder because I just did not have the motivation to do it. But usually we always have like scheduled like an hour and a half to like 2 hours of time just like taken out of our day just for schoolwork. And I always need more usually, but like I've made like my own schedule usually, like with my other schedule that my coaches make for me. But I'll like have like spots in my day set out for just schoolwork, and I'll have like, all right, I write down everything I gotta do for the day, when I'm gonna email teachers, like I gotta have my schedule so I get it all done, and then like I make a checklist and I'm like, good, we're done.
Does mom help with that scheduling piece of everything?
Used to, but I got it down now. It's like,
I
all
know.
right,
Not that you don't need her help anymore, but your mom is very organized. I've seen her scheduling in her books. So if you're anything like her, you should be good to go.
Yeah,
Hey, do you have your phone? Did you find it?
I did. Some guy messaged my mom. He was like, hey, I have your phone, come to this address. I was like, no, buddy, you can keep it. But he actually was trying to be nice, and he was customer service for us. I got it back though, so we're doing good.
That's really good.
Yeah.
How'd you lose it? What happened?
So we went shopping, and I think it accidentally fell out of my pocket of my jacket. And in the parking lot, I did not notice. And we went and looked for it. We could not find it. So we were like, all right, whatever, who cares? And some guy found it and picked it up and brought it back to us. So.
Nice.
I think we have to remind our listeners that we're talking to an 8th grader. The fact is you're very mature. I've watched you grow. I know you have a wonderful family, and you have great siblings, and you guys really, I'm sure they miss you. I'm sure that's why I'm asking about the phone. You guys have opportunities where you can see each other, FaceTime, or connect that way.
Yeah, multiple times a day I'll FaceTime. Usually at night I'll FaceTime for like an hour, hour and a half. We FaceTime every single night. We go through our day after we're together at the dinner table, but even though we're on the other side of the country, we still make it work.
Very cool. Mr. Haim, you've been actively listening. I'm sure you have questions, and you are going to also probably throw out some game time activities.
Yeah, I have a lot of questions, and for some reason, Miss Bondi's stealing all my questions today. I left my questions on my desk and went for a walk, and I don't know if she went over here and took them or not. So, Haidyn, for the Olympics, they have minimum weights that men and women have to be to compete. And if they're not the minimum weight, they have to wear these vests in different weights. Do you have the same thing in the Class D and the Class C? You were talking about the weighted vests and different things like that. Do you have minimum weights?
Yes, I do. It's kind of usually it's based on like your competition. So like it's like the average of like your entire competition. That's the most amount of weight you can. It's like something like that. Yeah.
Okay, so and I think you've been at the two artificial, I think this is correct.
Yeah.
The United States has two artificial tracks. Is that true for
That
luge?
is true. Yes.
So what are the two artificial tracks we have in the United States?
So we have one in Lake Placid, New York, where the 1980 Olympics were. And then we have one here in Park City, Utah, where the 2002 Olympics were.
Okay, and do you know, I'm going to put you on the spot. Does the United States have any other luge tracks?
I know we have one. I want to say one in Green Bay, but I think it's like it's not like always there in the winter. It's only made for like a couple weekends because we hold like because USA Luge holds some kind of like competition, kind of like fun thing there, but for like people to come try it. But I know we have someone. Michigan. Sorry, there we go.
Well,
Michigan, we have one.
Yeah,
I've never been there actually, but I know it's fun. Michigan.
yeah, and that's a dirty word on this podcast, so we don't
I
say
know, my
that
bad.
word. There's actually two of those natural luge tracks in that state up north, and there's only like 6 curves. Can you talk about how you maneuver those curves? How do you make those turns, and how do you like? Miss Bondi kind of talked about it, but how do you do that? Do you kind of actually do the opposite of what you try with your body to actually turn, right? Can you kind of explain that a little bit?
Yeah. So say you're going into curves, kind of going like that. You're going to use your whole entire body. So you're going to use your legs to turn. Sometimes you use your handles because those steer a lot for you, but usually not in curves, just in straightaways because those are like quick changes. We don't do quick changes in curves. It's like you're in, you're out. You know what I mean? So, but you have your kuffins, which are like candy cane shaped things that kind of turn you or like steer you around, I guess. And then you have your shoulders and like your head, so your entire body. So you're going this way in a curve, you're gonna go like this, and your entire body's gonna kind of roll with the curve. And then it's just kind of like a really one motion kind of flow together kind of movement when you go through the track.
So kind of what I'm hearing is quick movement on the luge track means disaster.
Yes, exactly.
And can you talk a little bit? I know Miss Bondi asked it. Can you give us a little detail about the gear you have? I would assume it's very expensive, even though it doesn't look like you have much.
I actually have it right here. I can show you guys. So here are my spikes. This is what I do my starts with. And you have to paddle really hard. It's kind of like the main thing about your thing. So here are your spikes. They're just like little baby knives. There's like 30 of them. Then we have we like to call them booties. They are very aerodynamic. And they help your feet go like very, very like flat and straight. So it's a lot easier. And that's like an aspect you don't really have to worry about. Here we have my speed suit, which is also, it's like tight to my body. This is not my cute one. I have a better one, but it's not here at the moment. So here's this. It's a full body length that just zips up in the back. And then that helps. It's skin tight, very aerodynamic, and that's what you wear. That's it. And then we have our helmet. It's been through a lot with me. And then we have our face shield that kind of goes right there. So like no ice can fly up, or if you hit your head, or if you happen to accidentally flip or mess up or something, this is going to protect your face. So it just kind of goes on just like that. And then It's very helpful.
So you've done a lot of competitions, I would assume, here in the United States. Have you been able to compete against anyone from out of this country?
No. Supposedly, well, there was supposed to be Canada was supposed to come here, but due to COVID, it didn't really happen. But no, not at this time. I have not. No.
Okay. So, is this something that you want to pursue and you like to, what are we looking at? 4 years from now, 8 years from now?
Like-
When are we going to be watching you at 3 in the morning, 5 in the morning? Unfortunately, that's kind of how Luge unfortunately gets pushed, on the network stations.
Yeah. Probably the 2030 Olympics, I want to say the soonest. There's definitely, so I do singles and I kind of like touched a bit on doubles. So doubles is just like 2, and there's women's is just starting, like it just got okay, I believe the 2026 Olympics, I think. I might be wrong on that, but I know there's like talk of it. So that could be the earliest, but I doubt it because I'll be like, I think 18, and usually once you get into like your like mid-20s, you're usually in the Olympics. So, but yeah, my goal is to pursue. I mean, unless I know I do like a lot of other sports, so I don't really know, but I do love luge. Like all my closest friends are from here. I have brothers in California. I got one of my friends, he lives in Wisconsin, everywhere, all around the country. I have friends everywhere. I really like the environment, but when you do luge, it takes a lot of time and effort, and that means like your college is going to have to wait, your life, and you don't make much money doing it, so like it kind of sets you on like any kind of path, but I want to have fun in life, so my goal is to continue.
But this is kind of like you got one shot. I mean, and you really got one shot to go for it, and then that's it, right?
Yeah, the second I pull out, I'm done. Like it takes like at least 20 years to train for this, and if you don't have that 20-year experience, you're going to be able to tell. It takes a lot.
Okay. And then one last thing, Haidyn. If this could happen, can you tell me about who that person you want to see at the finish line when you cross it and win that gold medal? Who's that first person you want to see?
Ooh, this one's tricky. Probably my parents. It would definitely be my mom or my dad. But sometimes when we travel, it's hard to travel with me. So it's definitely going to be one of my teammates that I like. If my parents were not there, I'd rather see one of my teammates just sitting there. And like we're our biggest competitors. We argue with each other, but the next second we're like sisters. We're best friends, and all we want is the best for each other, really.
That's awesome. And these are the same girls that you've pretty much been with throughout this 3-year journey so far, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
At some point, they're going to have to come out to God's country, where you're from. Maybe
We
you
can
could bring out a luge out there in West Farmington.
Yeah.
Or we could just have them practice their luge right down Painesville Ravenna Road here. It was a nice icy drive in this morning.
You know what your dad's going to have you do in the summer at some point? If you have a 0 turn, he's going to tell you, Haidyn, you got the skill down of how to do the opposite turns of things. Get behind this mower and stripe up my lawn. Yep.
You're gonna have to
Ryan,
teach
do we have
me.
any chicken or steak today?
All right, here we go. I think this is pretty simple, Haidyn, but I'm going to go there. Would you rather be at the ocean or in the mountains?
Mountains.
Mountains. Winter or summer?
Winter.
Would you rather dine in or have delivery?
Delivery.
When you're
Or wait. I know there's some cooking that happens on your back deck, right? You have that big thing.
Yeah.
And something about eggs. Does your mom have a thing about cooking eggs in the house or something?
She's
She was,
outside.
she was talking to me about this.
Just make my scrambled eggs every morning.
So you go outside to make your scrambled eggs?
Yes.
You do. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Good thing you like the snow.
No, it's fine.
All right, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, well, what else is new? You take my questions. Now you're interrupting chicken and steak. You're starting to take over here, Miss Bonnie. You're starting to get a little too comfortable here around these days. It's March, I guess.
It's
You're
March.
not the newbie anymore.
March Madness.
Yeah, I guess so. Haydn, would you rather watch that TV show or the movies when you're all alone out there in Park City?
TV show.
TV show. Which TV show would that be?
Ooh, I don't know. Anything that's got a lot of drama in it, definitely.
Drama.
Everything else is either boring or it's too scary to watch alone. So I gotta watch it with some of my friends.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Would you rather have cake or pie?
Cake.
What kind of cake?
Probably go with the basic vanilla or chocolate with like a good kind of frosting or something.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to end with this one. Then I'm going to turn it over to Murray. Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
There we go. Little
You
chicken
have a
steak
dog,
for
right?
you.
And 4.
Yeah.
Oh, that was an easy one. Lobbed it up for her to end the show. A little chicken and steak for you.
Haydyn, we've been with you now for almost a half hour, so we're going to end with you giving the opportunity to give some shout outs. We all give shout outs, but we're going to head right over to you because I know there's a lot of people you want to show gratitude for.
Okay. Definitely my teachers. They really help me out while I'm here. Make it a lot less stress-free. My parents, because they're giving me the opportunity to do all of this. My coaches, because for the reason I can do this. My teammates, because I don't know if I could do this without them. A lot of people. Everyone that is in my life and makes an impact on me. Really. They do a lot for me.
That's awesome. Mrs. Bondi or Mr. Heim, do you have anyone this week?
I've really been on like a shout outs to students kick lately. And I've been naming specific students and I've been very general with the students that I've gone both ways with it. I felt bad because last week after I gave a shout out to particular students, I thought there's way more that I could have named. So in general, I'm going to be more general this time, but just all of the students who participated this past month in one way, shape, or form with all of the kindness. And I know, Haydyn, you were involved in some of those things too, but just in the whole school just really felt like students were focusing more than ever on trying to do kind things for others. And I just really appreciated it. So shout out again to our students.
How about Mr. Hyam?
I'm going to shout out 3 people who have done some magical work with their fingers and hands to touch. I don't know what they're touching, but they're allowing me to stand, turning my neck. People have said I've grown 3 inches overnight. Suzanne, Mandy, and Troy, they're physical therapists who are bringing me back to life. So I truly appreciate the work they're doing. People are starting to say that the color's coming back. I'm actually smiling. I don't know what that's all about. But,
That's new.
I know
Someone
it's
added
new.
something new in there.
We don't want that. We don't want too much of that going on. We can't have that. So truly appreciate their work. So maybe by the month of June I'll be back to normal. So we'll see what happens here.
Core
Murray?
value, optimism.
Yes, optimism. That's why I said June.
Yeah.
June.
I want to give a shout out. A couple of people also give a shout out to the boys basketball team last night. Great season, great team, great coach, great game. Coach Morawski and the boys, all the seniors. Shout out to them. Shout out to our community, in particular, Father Scott over at St. Mary's, who had a great opportunity to put on a prayer service on February 27th. Did a wonderful job being new to the community and wanting to learn more. I'm very proud of him. And I literally give a shout out to the month of March. I cannot wait for this month. There's something about it. My last name is Murray, so there's a little Irish in me. However, majority of it's Italian. I just love the month of March. I like the green. I like the change in scenery. We just melted an iceberg, warmer weather, corned beef and cabbage, spring break. Give a shout out to the month of March. My wife's birthday, Savannah's birthday. March is a great month, but in Ohio, it can certainly see multiple seasons in one day. Haidyn, where are you going next? It's now 8:19 over in your world. What's coming up?
I leave in about 20, 30 minutes to go to the track for about 4 hours today. And then I come home and I have a workout and sled work.
Hey, just a last check. Is there any one of your teammates that are like in that room or near you?
They're like right there. Do you want me to get them?
Yeah, get them over here.
Okay.
Hey Maggie, yeah, will you come here and say hi? Sorry, you're good. You're fine. I'm Heradius.
You look fine. It's okay. Here.
Hi.
This is Maggie. She's from Columbus area.
Hi.
Nice. Maggie from
You
Columbus,
see.
born in Cincinnati.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, always gotta support Ohio.
That's
Awesome.
right.
Go
Toledo
Bucks.
wherever.
Absolutely. You
So
girls are
we're the principals at Chardon High School. We have a podcast.
Sweet.
Are you in 8th grade?
I'm a freshman.
You're a freshman. What high school do you go to?
I go to Newark Catholic High School.
Oh, cool. Very cool. Who else is in your little posse of friends? We got someone else?
This is Adeline.
Hello.
And where are you from?
I'm from Columbus, Ohio.
Columbus. This is Ohio. Nice. Have you ever been to West Farmington?
Yeah, many times.
Super cool. Well, we're close to that. We're the heart of the snow belt here in Geauga County, Chardon. You'll have to come and visit us at this school. We'd love to meet
Sure,
you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, best of luck today. Have
Thank
fun.
you.
Yeah.
Keep on bonding like we've been. I guess, do you want to give any shout outs? Do you want to give a shout out to anyone back home?
To my family.
It's my mother's birthday. Happy birthday, Mom.
All
Ah,
right.
I hope she watches our podcast.
Yes, we will. We'll send it to Mrs. Bunker. She can send it over to your family. You don't have to bring her out here, Haidyn, but certainly give our gratitude to your aunt who's
Yeah.
there.
Exam tab.
Awesome. Hey, girls, have a great day. Keep on learning and just enjoying every moment, because these are memories you'll never ever forget. So we're proud of all of you. Haidyn, we'll see you soon. Everybody have a great day.
Thank
And
you.
go
Thank you
Toppers.
so much.
Or go Luge.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.